have you guys mentioned Ozzy Osbourne dying yet?
No, we
No,
haven't
no.
mentioned Ozzy Osbourne dying.
Okay, so I may not be the perfect person to eulogize Ozzy Osbourne because he's a little of an older generation than me. However, I do have a really odd Ozzy Osbourne sports connection, and I was a child of the VH1 MTV era, so I did watch his reality show back in the early
Ah,
2000s.
the Osbournes.
That's honestly how I was introduced to Ozzy Osbourne. I didn't know anything about Ozzy Osbourne until I watched the Osbournes.
Really?
Yeah, at all, because I was such a little kid. I didn't know about the Osbournes until I saw them, and I was such like a such a little bubble that I was like, wow, they say a lot of bad words to their kids.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild. That's not how my house is.
That was exactly what my introduction was to Ozzy Osbourne also. And then my sister was like, yeah, he also ate a bat once. And I was like, what? But then Billy, after the Osbourne show became super popular in like 2002, he was actually at a Cubs Dodgers game in August 2003 that I happened to attend and went down as one of the most infamous take me out to the ball game seventh inning stretch singing jobs of anyone in the history of the seventh inning stretch. And so my connection to Ozzy Osbourne has always been that I was there as a I think 7-year old. This was like the height of my Cubs fandom. Like a month before the Steve Bartman thing, which is where my blood feud with Miami started.
Marlins took
And
that ass
I
that night.
saw Ozzy sing the seventh inning stretch live. And like this was like, pre social media, but like this seventh inning stretch went viral. And I think we have sound from it, Roy, if people aren't familiar.
All right, Chicago. I want to hear a real crazy crowd start singing with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? One, two, three, and let's go out to the bar. Let's go out to the river. Take me in every lesson to. I don't remember what I have to do. And I've run out of the Let's get some runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs, guys.
So let me just say right now,
Beautiful, man.
when
So good.
Jessica was setting up the clip, I'd never heard it before.
Really?
I wanted to be funny. I said, oh, did it sound so like and I was like, the guy just died. I mean, don't make that joke. And it literally was exactly what was in my head.
It's so good. It's so good. I was bummed about Ozzy yesterday and this morning. I honestly, I spent the whole car ride in today listening to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. Like, I was into it. I was getting goosebumps listening to it because he performed this Back to the Beginning concert, which was like 2 weeks ago at Wembley Stadium in London, where all the heavy metal groups, they were there and paying tribute. And Ozzy and Black Sabbath, it was like a reunion, one final show, Back to the Beginning. And you were able to see, like, he summed it up one final time. He was emotional during some of the songs. People in the crowd are crying. And he even said that leading up to the show, to make sure that he could perform in the current state, like, he had Parkinson's, okay? So he was suffering for a bit. And he couldn't stand during the show. They brought him out on a throne. He performed on a throne. He couldn't stand. And he said leading up to the show, he wasn't taking his medication anymore because he needed to make sure that he could focus and do it one final time. Like, he was saying goodbye to all of us.
It's so cool. I was showing my wife that last night. Can we name a celebrity that went out better than Ozzy?
It really, it's
like, that is, like,
it
I
was
don't want to
really
say
beautiful.
it's cool, but
No,
like,
no, it was. It was
it's
something
so
beautiful about it.
awesome that he got to do that.
He was saying goodbye to us.
Oh, be clear on this. That's one of the most moving things I've ever seen or heard. I've told you guys before that seeing Led Zeppelin play at the Kennedy Center when Hart and a chorus is singing behind them, seeing them, their music played for them, back to them, is among the best television or moving music I've ever seen. Zaslow said a piece of this, okay? The piece of it that Zaslow's hitting on is those bands showed up for 15 minutes, all of them, to do their very best because they knew that guy was dying and they knew what he was. And Osbourne's reality show, that's one of the most amazing entertainment things of my lifetime. I saw a guy who the church thought was a Satanist who was leading all children to hell become a sitcom dad.
He became a TV dad.
That person, the story I know about Ozzy that is the best story isn't him biting the head off a live bat on stage. It's that other bands addicted to heroin marveled that he would snort the line of ants on the way to the popsicle stick on the floor because this dude, it's a miracle he made it to 76, and the music that was played was said to, they know he should have been gone 25 years ago. Like, that dude was an insane person. To see him go sitcom dad to then goodbye, I had a lot of fun, and everyone's like crying in the crowd because they know exactly what that means. Very few people get to go out like that.
Take me everything I should do.
And it's not,
And then
it's-
the
it's
Cubs
not making fun of
lost,
him. Like, he's
even though Zambrano was pitching, Dan. It was a huge bummer.
Wow, this really
Soda body.
burnt that memory into your brain, your 7-year-old brain.
Zambrano, great.
The Cubs fans also, by the way, like let them get away with it because like they will boo the crap out of anyone that does that. And Ozzy's like, this was awesome. Like Alex Cooper was there a couple weeks ago. They hated Alex Cooper singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," but they love this.
Alice Cooper?
Alex, the
Cooper?
podcast host.
Oh, I thought we were like doing the rock and roll guys. It's like, oh, Alice Cooper was there. Wow.
Billy, we can't play the video, but as soon as he starts singing, they cut to the bleacher seats and there's just a guy without a shirt on, and he just starts laughing, and then you hear the laugh from the crowd at the Cubs game. And so actually my dad, someone invited my dad and like all of us to sit in a club or like a box seat for that game. So we were like right next to the TV booth, and that was like a big deal because, you know, I never sat in a box before, and they have a dessert cart. But the thing that I remember most was like we all went out into the hallway to see Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne walk out from like the TV booth right after it happened, and that was like the first time I'd ever seen a celebrity in person. I was like, this is the coolest day of my life. And then I actually, like a few years later in Chicago, saw Black Sabbath at Lollapalooza, I think. So I don't know, that was always my Ozzy Osbourne connection. You could look at me, Lucy, for that too.
Hold on, you said
my
a few years later?
Yeah, like probably
She went
I
at
don't know,
9 to Lollapalooza.
Yeah, I
10
was
years
gonna say,
later.
Okay, all right. I was like, you were like 10 at the.
Go to see Sabbath, 10 years old.
So anyways, bummed to hear that he passed away. He was like one of the first sitcom family dads.
That's amazing.
You know, in my household.
To be that
as an
age,
MTV
and like
baby.
that's how you get turned on to who Ozzy Osbourne
America feared him. The church was saying that he was the most evil person in entertainment.
What was he like? Because like you guys say that, but when I was, you know, turned on to him, he was a sitcom dad, and he was kind of like this guy. Like obviously it's because of the years of drug use, but he just seemed like this guy that was just like bumbling around a lot of the time. And I was like, how is this person the most feared person in America? And they think that this guy is going to like recruit me to a cult, because if that Ozzy Osbourne showed up at my door and was like, hey, you want to worship Satan? I'd be like, nah, I think I'm good, but thank you. Like, you want to come in and like.
I mean, it's because when you think of heavy metal, you know, through the 70s and then the 80s, he was the guy. Like, he was the very, very top of the food chain when it comes to heavy metal stars. He was just a titan. And for that guy to be the sweet man we saw bumbling around his home, where by the way, he's not in charge. The kids and the wife run the show, and they tell him what to do. It was really endearing, and he was like the sweetest man.
Did the church hate him because the band was called Black Sabbath? It was called.
Oh
anything
no,
else?
because no, he was a Satanist. They did all.
So
They
Satanic Panic.
they did Aleister Crowley, like a song about like this. I cannot explain to you. I'm trying to think who could even. It's not. This is beyond Marilyn Manson. I guess sort of. Marilyn Manson was ripping off whatever it is that Ozzy was doing 30 years earlier with costumes. Ozzy Osbourne was thought by the church to be to the devil's music.
He has denied being a Satanist, by the way, and the New York Times reported in 1992 that he was actually a practicing member of the Church of England, prayed before each show.
The only song I know is Crazy Train. That's the only.
No, you know, you just don't know that you know.
Give me some other examples.
Mama, I'm coming home.
Never heard that.
You've
song
heard
in my life.
Iron Man?
What's that?
Yeah. You've heard War Pigs before.
What's War Pigs?
I mean, you want me to sing
Sing
this
it, yes,
song?
because I
Yeah,
don't
we want you
know.
to do karaoke.
You look the
Exactly.
part.
Karaoke.
You're confident. I don't think it's an unreasonable request.
Soda body.
Did the church get together and have a meeting and say this is the guy that we hate? Like, what
Yeah,
does that
which
mean?
church,
Like, the church
too?
was so afraid of it. Like, they called like you know, like in the papal conclave when before I guess John Paul was the pope at the time. Like, okay, before we elect a new pope, though, let's go
Paul
over
II.
pop culture and decide who we hate the most. And then they let out the smoke, and it's like Ozzy.
I really don't know. Let's think about this, Yaz. Give me somebody comparably that I can that was at the height of whatever represented evil in America. Like this person, when he says he's a Titan, it's for people who are like, I like that he's a wrestling character. And then the people who don't know that he's a wrestling character and that he's addicted to drugs and everything else and that he's musically great, that he's not, that he's acting and that he's a sitcom dad who gets bossed around by his wife. Zaz is connecting with the music there, but he's also rebelling against whoever it is thinks this person needs to be banned.
I think Howard Stern's in that territory. People thought he was like this awful person when in reality, like he wasn't that guy on the radio at all.
And people have flipped on him. Like he's kind of on the other side of that now.
I feel like if you're the church, right, like that's the worst thing you want to do, right? Because like if you're like a young impressionable kid, it's like the church hates this guy. He's like way too hot. It's like, whoa, I like this guy, right? Like I feel like if the church wanted to
Streisand
do
effect,
that,
Billy.
what they should do is like, this is Joel Osteen. God, I mean, this guy does not represent the church at all. And then a bunch of people are like, I got to check out this Osteen guy, see what he's all about. The church hates him so much, you know? Reverse psychology, you just bring him into the church that way.
Every time.
Jessica just said Streisand effect, and I got to be honest, I've heard that. I learned, I can't remember what it is, but I heard it for the first time like 3 days ago, and I've heard it seven times since. Yeah, I've never.
I don't think I've ever
never heard of
the Streisand effect?
what, Jessica, what is the Streisand effect?
It's like when you try to censor something and then like by saying this is taboo, more people pay attention to it anyway. So
Every time. Every time.
Well, what did Babs do that everyone was trying to censor
Started with
her?
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah, what did she do? What was she up to?
Barbara Streisand was Trump. They're doing
What'd she
this
say?
they're doing this. So
no,
If she was the one that was trying to censor somebody, right?
yes, like a photo of her house or something. I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
it was her.
It's-
It was a picture of her house. She's like, "Stop taking pictures of my house," and all the half.
Everybody's like, what? Take pictures of your house more?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly how it went down. By the way, to answer your question, who else? Madonna. Church hated Madonna. Remember
Yeah.
the Like a Prayer video? They did not like
Oh,
that.
but wait a minute. They hated Madonna for sexuality.
Women weren't supposed to behave
Osbourne
like
was
that.
like Osbourne. I don't think he was publicly against the church, but everyone thought he was the devil's child. Like that's how he was being reacted to.
He was literally like the test case for you play the record backwards and you're going to hear the devil.
That's correct.
that's
correct.
where that comes from.
Yes, that's where that starts. Yes, and play the Aleister Crowley song backwards, and
Who's Aleister
and
Crowley?
it,
I don't know. Sounds like a dentist.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Crowley.
Dr. Crowley.
you know what? Please look up Aleister Crowley's history and let's see if we could scare Jessica because you say you guys.
I know who Alistair. Dan, come on. I'm like one of my favorite bands was Led Zeppelin growing up.
Yeah, she worshipped the devil as a child, Dan.
She went and saw Black
Exactly,
Sabbath
Billy.
at 10
Thank
years
you.
old at Lollapalooza.
My nanny was a psychic. She saw ghosts.
Really?
Yeah. Does
Yeah,
that make
that's
you a
actually a true
psychic, though?
story.
Seeing ghosts?
Well, according to her, I mean, certainly scarred my sister for life, whether it was true or not.